In terms of risk sentiment, then, this seems to be falling in Europe more than elsewhere. Asian equity markets, yes, there was some impact from the cars headlines, but not to the extent that perhaps we will see in European markets. I guess that makes sense. What are you watching for in terms of how this story flows around the world?
I think that theme of Europe taking the brunt of the pain is going to continue into next week. I think there's two aspects of that. I think one is the messaging very much is that this April 2nd Liberation Day, as Trump has called it, is going to be focused on reciprocal tariffs. And that seems like it's going to be very much focused on the EU. And even if the sector ones come in beyond autos, then there are ones where Europe is very relevant. So I think EU will take the brunt. And the second part of that is that, of course, European markets have been big outperformers for much this year. So they can give back some room while staying in the longer term positive story. I think what's really important is that next week is going to add some clarity, probably not full clarity. So short term, it'll be negative for vol. I expect vol to peak out in the middle of next week and then subside afterwards. But we're going to have longer term uncertainty because we're not going to get complete clarity. And some of these tariffs will be imposed as a negotiation ploy. So I think it'll be a low volatility, risk negative event. We'll need to pick winners and losers. It's a time for active managers. But I think Europe will probably take the brunt of it at a bigger picture level.
Mark, why do you think next week delivers some clarity? It feels like it just opens the door to less clarity. We don't know how Europe is going to respond. We don't know how others are going to come back. We've already seen this morning Donald Trump warning that there will be further escalation if others do respond. Doesn't this just increase the speed at which this story is going to evolve and therefore increase the level of outcomes that we could potentially be looking at, increase, not decrease, the certainty?
So, very good question. So what you're going to see is you're going to see a steepening of the vol curve. So you're going to see near-term volatility come down. It is a little bit bid for next week. It's actually not massively bid into next week, but because we'll get some idea of exactly which tariffs are going to be imposed next week and some kind of messaging around what the steps are for further tariffs. And we'll probably get some further guidance about what the response rate will be. At the moment, we've got very little clarity. So we're going to get a little bit of clarity, but you're right. Long end vol should actually increase. And this is why I think you're going to see a steepening of vol curves. You're going to see near-end vol come lower and long-end vol rise. And that'll be the same across equity markets and in FX markets. As people say, the range of outcomes broadens, and I think that there remains that large uncertainty. So, yes, it's a negative event, but short-term, it should be slightly lower vol than we're thinking at the moment, where we have no idea what's going to be imposed or the tariffs. Most people haven't even worked out, and I include myself in this, are they going to get announced on April 2nd to be going to effect April 3rd? Like the car auto tariffs are going to affect April 3rd, or are they actually going to affect April 2nd? So there's really no clarity at all at the moment on the dates, when things will go into effect, what they'll go effect on, what the response will be. I think what's really interesting overnight is how much coordination there is in response. What was, Trump has even kind of flicked at that, the idea of Canada and EU combine against them. That's where he knows he's really vulnerable. If the rest of the world starts collaborating in their response, that's when the outcome in the US will be even more negative than it's going to be over the long term.